Hi there, I'm Shannon. I am just going to do a quick mani, and I'm just going to do a little recording to share on YouTube. I am doing a mani that is inspired by one that I saw in one of our nail-fee groups. And I had Facebook friends vote for their favorite. I'm going on vacation very soon and wanted to get a new mani done before I left. So we are going to be using Made in Milan, at the Plaza, Purr-diem, and Sahara Jewel. So these are all Color Street nail polish strips. I have them under here. I got everything ready ahead of time. If you're wondering, these are some rice and flaxseed bags. I am actually just trying to warm up my hands. They're very chilly today. It's cold outside here in Minnesota. We have a snowstorm, well, rain coming tonight and snow coming tomorrow. So I am just warming up my fingers because cold hands and Color Street don't mix very well. So I'm warming up the strips and I'm warming up my hands. So that's what I'm doing a little bit ahead of time. I did all my prep work yesterday. I trimmed my nails, filed them, gently pushed my cuticles back off of my nails so I have a nice clean surface to work with. So then we're going to get started. I'm going to do an overlay, doubling up some of the strips today too, so you guys can see that. So I'm going to start with my first strip, which is at the Plaza. So I'm going to move things here. Let me mute my computer so that stops going off. Oh, except I can't there. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with a pinky because I use my thumbs as tools. So using my, to cut my strips. So starting with my pinky helps that I don't ruin the strip that I do on my thumb if I save my thumbs for last. So that's the reason we say to start with your pinky, is so that we save our thumbs for last, because those are the ones we're going to use mostly as tools to trim the edges like I just did. And sometimes I'll just use my nail. Sometimes I'll use a little wood orange stick. So I like to push my strips down a little bit extra with a rubber cuticle pusher. The little rubber tip gives it a little more grip. And this is a light color. This is at the Plaza. I will be adding an overlay over that because this is a pretty light color for my skin tone, I feel. But, all right, my crooked fingernail is a little trickier than others. All right. Just because my nails more bendy on this crooked pinky I have. And this is just how I was born. I didn't break it. I know sometimes people get crooked fingers from breaking them. This one was just like that. All right, I'm gonna warm up my strip a little bit more with my hand, this one's a flax bag and this is a rice bag. They are easily made for people that sew. I do not sew, so I've had people make them for me. So anyway, so if you are handy with a sewing machine, there's lots of little tutorials on how to make your own little rice bag or flax seed heating pads, I guess is what they would be called. So, and I really probably don't have to be as picky as I am especially with this one, since I am going to be putting an overlay over it. But I'm pretty picky because that's just my personality. So I'm going to do my other at the Plaza before going, so I'm not really going in order from pinky to thumb. And that doesn't matter quite as much because I'm not using my other finger nails to cut my strips like I'm doing for my thumbs. So, all right. So the trick about solids is you want to gently stretch them and smooth them out as you're applying them. And that's going to help you not get wrinkles, especially because this nail of mine is extra curvy. So I am smoothing and pushing down at the same time. So again, I take my rubber cuticle pusher and I want to make sure that the strip gets a nice adhesion to the nail bed. And then I'll come in later and clean up any overlapping of my skin. If the strip was too big, you can clean that up easily, either with your thumbnail or an orange stick. Oh, and if you can see, I usually like to get 2 fingernails done with 1 strip. That's not necessary. If your nails are too long, some people can't do that because their fingernails are too long. I keep my fingernails kind of short. And this one is getting a little dried out, so I'm just gonna, again, gently push and kind of gently stretch it over. And then see how there's wrinkles on the side? So then I take this and I'm gonna smooth those out. I'm gonna use this and try to see if that goes, I don't know if that's extra there. I am gonna use a little heat because this strip was a little drier. Oh, I'm getting a little, something's under the strip right at the edge. Again, I think that'll get covered up with the overlay we're doing. So we're doing one of the new, well, not new for spring, but one of the mini collections from Eat, Pray, Love mini collection. There were some animal print overlays, and I'm doing I think it's a leopard. I don't really know actually, or a cheetah. I don't know the difference between the spots on a leopard and a cheetah, so I guess it could just be a cat. It's called Purr-diem, so I guess it could be just a house cat too. All right. I'm assuming there's a house cat with spots now that I'm thinking about it. I'm sure there is. All right, let's try to smooth this out. All right. Let's see what's next. We're gonna do the double layer of Sahara Jewel. And this I only have 2 strips left of the set total, so we are using a bigger strip than I need to because I want to double it and I don't have a smaller strip. Well, I have 1 smaller strip and 1 big strip, so we're gonna use, actually I think I'll use the smaller strip first, now that I think about it. All right. So this is a retired, actually is Sahara Jewel retired? I don't think it is. All right, I gotta get the little tab off. So I always attach my strips. We call this the anchor technique. So you can see how sheer this strip is, how you can see the paper through it. So that's why I'm doubling this one, is I wanna make that color a little darker. So by layering the strip, it makes that color even more intense than it would be. So, and we are going to be using strips that are a little bigger than my nail because that is what I have left. But then we'll just clean up the edges. hold on. I gotta make sure I'm doing my same finger. All right, so this is the first layer. Again, I use my thumb. I cut the strip underneath. And then I just clean up the edges. So I'm gonna come back now because I got it on both fingernails. I am going to smooth out this glitter. So if you're new to Color Street, the glitters are a lot more forgiving as far as any sort of application mistake or wrinkles than the solids are. But a lot of people, I mean, we do have a lot of people that love the solids and are really good at applying solids. There is a little bit of a learning curve, as it is with anything, but a little bit of a learning curve to get the right feel. You do have to push them down really well. That's going to help. It's going to help them stick. It's going to help them last a little bit longer. Doubling up strips, like I'm going to show you when I double this one, but I'm going to finish one layer on all my fingers, and then I'm going to come back in with a couple overlays and a couple just doubling the same set. So, and then you'll be able to see the difference too with the color of Sahara Jewel. Sahara, I don't know how to say that actually. So this strip was not the most sticky, so we're gonna have to work on pushing that down. I'm thinking it'll be okay. All right, so we have 3 of the 5 nails done. The next we're gonna go with the middle finger. Let's see. I don't know if I have enough to double. I'll be able to double this one. I think. Again, the doubling just will make this color a little bit darker. I don't know if I picked the right size strip. I picked a slightly small strip on this one. It's okay. One thing I like about Color Street is that even if you do have a slightly smaller strip or a slightly bigger strip, it'll work. So this, because it has a nice straight line, that's not too bad actually. That's pretty good. You can't even tell that if it doesn't come all the way and cover your whole nail. It has a nice straight line just because of the shape of the nail versus trying to, when you're using liquid polish, trying to paint, it's not quite as perfect, I guess, with those lines. But I am going to try to center that as much as I can. It isn't probably the right size strip. It is close enough, however, like I said. And that's the one thing too, is we always notice any sort of flaws where everybody else, like nobody else would notice. So, all right. You have to forgive I have like a raspy voice because I have been like this for quite a while. It feels like I'm losing my voice, but I haven't actually lost it and had full-on laryngitis, so I don't know. All right, my thumbs are close that I cannot quite get 2 of my thumbnails done with one strip, like I can my rest of my fingernails. It just sometimes depends if my nails are short enough or if I don't go quite as close to the base of my nail, which I probably don't need to get quite as close as I try to. We'll try to do it because I'd like to double these, and I only took 2 strips out. All right, this is made in Milan. If you have not worn this set, it is gorgeous. I remember when Confetti came out in, I don't know, was that 2018 maybe? I wore Made in Milan with confetti for Valentine's, and it would look like raspberry chocolate combo with this dark brown. It almost looks black in some lighting, but it is a brown, and it is a shimmer, not shimmer, what do they call it? Do they call it shimmer? The opposite of cream. I feel like shimmer is not the right word. No, I can't remember. I'm blinking. But it has a more glossy like look to it than just the plain creams. I think we do call it shimmer. They've introduced some more like finishes, so I can't keep track of everything. Anyway, but I have been a stylist since 2018, since October. I signed up right after fall launch. Well, it wasn't right after, but it was after fall launch and before holiday 2018. And it was a wonderful time as far as becoming a stylist because the fall sets were still new, and then the holiday sets came and were awesome, as they always do very well. Because who doesn't love a fun holiday nail? All right. This is really stuck to my skin. Ugh. All right. There. The hardest part is getting it off my finger now. Okay. So, all right, we have one layer of everything. So if you want to be really good, you can wait and let these cure for probably 20 minutes to be safe. I like to usually do my nails, my manis, like at night and then go to bed, so then they can cure overnight and nothing gets messed up or anything. They are all dry to the touch because Color Street comes 95% dry, and then that last little 5% of the polish that is not dry is what sticks to your nails. So this is a clear overlay. So it looks like it has a white background, but it actually is clear. So when I put this over, you're going to see the color underneath show through. So you get rid of that little plastic layer, and then I should have saved my thumbs for last for all the layers, but I did not do that. So, oops. So you will see what I do instead. I will try to stop using my thumb as a tool, but that doesn't always work. All right, so this is an overlay. Again, this anchor trick where I'm putting the strip back on the paper backing, you have to make sure you stick it to the side that the strip was originally stuck to. And then you can use like this, an orange stick like this, or a wood cuticle stick. I don't know why they were called orange sticks. I guess I've never really looked into that. So I will have to clean that up later. I guess it's later now because I'm cleaning it up. All right, I'm gonna get that little excess there. Try to clean it up so it doesn't get stuck in my mani. I hate when I get a little, like I said, the hardest part is getting it off my finger. All right, so then I have my other side. I'm going to do this pinky and finish up with that second layer. So I love that it just gives it a little pop of like the black dots from, we'll just say this is cheetah because I have no idea what it is. Some cat. But it is a fun. So the overlays are a great and pretty easy way to customize the look of your Color Street mani. So I'm doing two, layers. So we have the base layer, which is at the Plaza. I have little bits of the overlay stuck to my fingers. And then the overlay is the Purr-diem. So then I'm going to go and do my next. Actually, I'll do the next one. I'll do the other Purr-diem one. We'll just go the same order I did before. All right, that tab was a little sticky for some reason. So that silver tab helps you get the strip off the paper backing, and then it's perforated. You could just separate that. So I line it up, make sure it's that shiny side, the side that you had the nail strip, that the nail strip was attached to. If you make a mistake and you put it and you stick it to the other side, it will not come off. And that strip will be lost, which is okay because there are 16 strips in your pack of nails set or of Color Street. So you will have enough to replace that one. All right, so let's try to cut this without using my thumb, which is always my trick. It's always hard for me. I always want to just use my thumb. But when you do that, and if it's not cured, you can kind of push the strip up. And then that's no fun. It can cause chipping and all that stuff. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to be long enough now because I kind of made it bunchy at the end on accident. It's like barely long enough. I like folded it under itself. So let's see if I can unfold it or at least stretch it enough over my tip. That works too. All right. Good enough. All right, let's get this smoothed out. So the fun thing with overlays is you get a fun little design, and it also helps extend the life of your mani by giving that another layer of, I have it folded. Let's see if I can stretch it out. Yeah, there you go. It gives it a little extra layer of protection because, like, if you are used to liquid polish, or if you've ever used liquid polish, you usually put one coat on, and then most of the time I always used to put another coat or two, another coat or two on top of your first layer. So that is the same effect or the same reasoning as you would do that with your Color Street, and it can extend that, how long that lasts. So okay, so now I'm going to do, so you can see the color that Sahara Jewel is now. This is that kind of brown glitter. I am going to put another layer, and I only have a big thumb strip left. So we're just going to cut the excess off. But we are going to do this. Again, you can see how sheer this is, but it is going to make the color darker by layering two of the same. So the first, the clear overlay is obviously different, and then using a thumb isn't the most ideal because it has a more square end to it. But you can see how much more intense that color is. God, I really want to use my thumb. Okay, but we're not going to because I don't want to ruin it. Okay, so close enough. I'm going to do this on this side, and then we will apply or clean up all the excess, because there is going to be a lot of excess with this one being a thumb strip. So I take my cuticle pusher, and I'm going to rub against, follow the shape of my nail as much as I can. If you push hard enough, you can crease and cut it with the rubber cuticle pusher, usually. I did partially through. I got it partially cut. So I'm going to just come back with this, which is just a little sharper, and finish cleaning that edge up. Okay, I'll deal with the ends later. I just roll or wrap the edge around for now. So again, I just follow the line from where my nail and my edge of my finger meet to clean that up, and I kind of pick that off here because it gets stuck on my skin as it starts to dry. All right, there's a little, oh, I think that's good. There might have been a little here, let's see. All right, not too bad. We're gonna gather this one at the end of my nail. And then I'm just gonna push to perforate it with the orange stick. All right. Sometimes I forget that I have to make sure my nails stay on camera. All right. So let me know if you guys have doubled strips, done overlays, doubled the glitter. So so this is a mixed mani because we're mixing all different sets. So again, it's 4 different sets, so which is very convenient because on the Color Street website, the special is a buy 3 get 1 free. So you could get 4 sets and do a mixed mani of your own. So I have 2 solids. So I've at the Plaza and made in Milan, and then a glitter, and then an overlay. So it's a really easy kind of formula almost to get a fun mixed mani look. But there's all sorts of ways you can do. You know, we have a fun designs if you want. Instead of just an overlay, a clear nail art design, you can do, there's some glitter designs and just nail art. We have cute florals. So make sure you check out what's new on the website. If you haven't, the spring collection just launched last week. Happened to be on my birthday. But those are going to stick around, the new spring sets. There are still some retiring sets available on our website too. So, all right. I think we're good on the double layer. So I just like how that darkened up the color. Let's see what I have left. Under here, we have, I'm going to double the Made in Milan. I should have picked the one bigger strip, but I did not, so we will go with it. Because that's what happens when you're recording. So I am going to keep going and get my finish up with the Made in Milan doubling that. So I'm going to basically just do the same thing I did originally. So I do have to say solids are a lot easier if you have flat nails. So I'm going to show you when I'm done with this one what I mean. So I didn't realize even until I started doing this because, well, right before I started using Color Street, I never even wore liquid polish because I would get frustrated how much time it took me to do it and then have to sit still and wait for it to dry. And usually I would mess them up because I'd touch them or I'd bump them into something or whatever because I wasn't patient enough. So if I made it through and didn't ruin them in the drying process, then I got frustrated because they never lasted very long. Like I spent all this time letting them dry and painting them really nice, and then they'd like chip the next day or, you know. So I hadn't worn nail polish in a long time, and then I discovered Color Street. So what I was saying with the curviness. So some people's nails are completely flat. Like if you look from the end. So I have some nails that are super curvy. So like this one, see how curvy it is this way, side to side, but then it also curves forward to backwards. These are less curvy. So getting solids on these fingers for me that are a little more flat are much easier. So if you have flatter nails, if they only curve in like one direction, that's what makes this my index fingers hard is that it curves in two directions. They curve forward and they curve this way. The rest of my nails are flat enough that it doesn't make the solids very difficult to put on. So that helps too. So if you have flat nails, they're not quite as curvy, you know, definitely give the solids a try. I feel like they're not as hard if you don't have like crazy curvy fingernails. Just because it's easier to get them to lay flat on flat nails. Again, a lot of the trick is starting at the base and rubbing, pushing outwards and upwards, if that makes sense. Like, look at that. Pretty good, huh? All right, I'm gonna trim off the excess here. Some of this I'll just wrap over and let dry like that, where they just a little overlap or a little excess hanging over, and kind of tuck it under my nail. If it starts to bug me once they cure, I can file them down. Sometimes I just leave them. All right, the thumbs are going to be my trickiest because I don't know if it's big enough to get a second layer. I'll get a second layer on. So I'll get a second layer on my nail fee hand. I always take pictures of my left hand and not my right hand. Well, first of all, because I'm right-handed, so it's easier to take a picture holding the camera in my right hand. And then, I don't know if you noticed, so the thumb is slightly different shaped, the thumb strip. Some of the other strips are like that as well. I know that this specific nail, I like to use the flatter end on this thumb, the wider end, because this is my nail fee hand, like I was saying. Oh, did I get a wrinkle in it? And then the other hand, I don't mind if it's a little smaller. So, or you could just use that end and throw out that rest. So a lot of people can't get 2 thumbnails done with 1 strip. I can't all the time. I'm kind of pushing it today. I should cut this with this. I want to just use my thumb. Okay. All right, we will see if I can salvage this. Stick it to me. As a double layer, it's a little nice because if I don't get it, at least it already has. It's like barely exactly the right length here. Look at that. All right. Okay, so now I just have to clean this up, and then I am all done with this mixed mani for my vacation. And then, like I said, people in my Facebook world voted, and this one won. At least last time I checked, it had won. But I was leaning towards this because it was not my original idea. I did see it from another stylist that had shared the picture, the nail fee. So I can't take credit for creating this combo, but I can sure enjoy it. It's awesome source to get information or get inspiration is from other stylists sharing their nail fees on social media. I love, if you are in my VIP group, I love to share nail fees. I try to share, I share one a day with the new nail fee. And I try to mix it up so it's not just manis that I like, because I definitely have my taste and other people have their own tastes. So, but it's kind of cool to see what other people are creating and get inspiration, get something that you like, that you can either recreate exactly or use just as inspiration and do your own variation on it. But there's so many ways to customize your color street. So here we go. Here, let's move our rainbows and all the crazies. And then this is the mixed mani. So I'll go over it really quick. Let's see, the lighting isn't the best right now. At the Plaza with Purr-diem overlay. This is doubled Sahara Jewel. This is doubled made in Milan. And then back to at the Plaza, and another made in Milan. So there you go. Hope you learned something. So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.